In this video, I'll be looking at how to convert this LGB track-powered loco to be battery-powered using this remote control handheld device. Hi, I'm Warren Brandon. Welcome to another Linleys video. This is a standard little LGB loco, track-powered, picking up the power either from the little shoes that rub along the top of the railhead, or there's little brushes that pick up power from the wheel treads as well. Standard arrangement, very reliable, although this particular loco has had its trouble over a little while. Some intermittent pickup, not sure if it's the shoes or the brushes along the inside of the wheels, so it's time for a little bit of a service and TLC as well. That's why I've picked this loco to take apart. The remote control unit that I'm going to use, never had one of these before. I've done a little bit of research, obviously, made a choice with this particular make. There are many other makes, probably equally or better perhaps. I've just chosen this one. It seemed to offer the sort of functionality that I'm interested in. It's the Micron TX22X. There are different variations and sort of iterative changes to some of their devices. This one's got the throttle that's the knob from minimum to maximum. There is the option of going off in the middle, reverse and forward, but I chose the option to have with the minimum all the way down here and the maximum speed all the way up here with the direction on this particular switch. It does have inertia. I'm not sure how valuable that is with this sort of loco, and of course there's multi-channel picking as well. There's other switches for various things like lights and other features which I may get into in due course. So that's the selected transmitter controller from Micron. The matching receiver I've gone for is this little device. It's very, very small. I have asked them to include at a little extra cost a longer receiving antenna and some little tails. So this is the Micron MR603C variant, capable of handling 20 volts. Probably won't do the full 20 volts here, although the motor is rated at 20 volts. It's got the 100mm extended aerial, full throttle control range, terminal block, all the various bits I've ticked. Little extra cost at just about £45, so it's quite a lot of money for such a small little circuit board. Power supply, this is a temporary arrangement because I just didn't know what the sort of running voltage I will need. The motor is rated, and LGB go up to about 22 volts I think, but that's full speed and really too fast for most track sort of operational speeds. So I'm going to do a bit of trial and error. I'm going to use small little battery packs with batteries, rechargeable batteries. I've got 3 sets here, which will do, that's about 6 volts. A little less because they're not actually 1.5, they're 1.2 volts each. Yeah, so a little bit less than 6 volts per pack. So 3 packs will be a little bit less than 18 volts. So that'll be my trial. Once I know what sort of voltage I'm going to work towards, obviously up to 20 volts, I'll then buy a suitable battery pack that'll do. I plan to either cram the batteries into the little cab. If I can, that would be ideal. Or for the short term, I'm going to just, using some linking wires, I'm going to run the battery packs inside a trailing carriage, a tended carriage. It'll do for the time being, but if I can down the line get smaller batteries and sort of mount them secretively in here, that would be ideal. Let's clear the decks a little bit of those batteries, don't need them straight away. Okay, this little loco needs a bit of disassembly. I've done some research as to what bits need to be taken off. I have had trouble with the shoes and I want to take those off anyway, so I'm going to remove the cab, and there are some fixing screws underneath for that, and also the under plate to access the gears underneath, and just to remove these 2 running shoes as well. I'll leave this magnet here, which is the sensing magnet for the DLC system. Not going to cover that now. Look back at other videos regarding how I control trains on my Linleys Garden Railway. Now then, this should come off easily, yes. Oh, there's a good bit of lubrication going on in there already, so I don't think I need to worry about that. I'm going to keep those shoes safe. I'm going to remove them for the time being because I don't need them for battery power, but I don't want to spoil the option of being able to reverse what I've done today to return them to track power. These are the little running brushes. Now I wonder if I'm going to take those out as well. Not sure how to do that. All these come out very easily, don't they? Are they going to come out like that? Oh, I don't think they are. No. Ah, do I take... Okay, they come out like that. They come out very good. Oh, what a clever design. Whoever designed LGB trains, they have made a masterpiece. That goes back in very easily. Here we go. Lift out the wheel sets. These little gears look okay actually. No obvious signs of wear on them. And these little brushes just slide out. And they seem in good condition as well. There we are. Wonder what sort of grease and oil should be put on them. I don't know. Nice. Well, they seem all okay. So I think what I'll do now is, presumably I need to replace that back in there. What does that do? That just picks up the power from the shoes and this. So actually I don't need that as well for the time being, do I? So let's take that out and keep that to one side. I will keep all of these little spare bits safely in a bag for reuse later on. Right, this can go back on. Which way round does that go? That way or that way? How do I know? Ah. Don't know. Does it actually make a difference? No. The number probably at the front. Let's do it that way. Oh, I can see the blue tack here. Yes, that's fine. Should have made a note of that. Let's try the slightly larger screw head. Good. Well, what I need to do next is find a way of getting to the terminals just in there somewhere. Must be a way of taking this upper section of the body off. Yes, there is. I need to take the front buffer beam off and I can remove those two screws there, and I think then that will just lift off. Hopefully that will just, he says just, yes, come off like that. Ah, that's very clever. So those pins come up here which will connect to the motor. I will just check that they actually do that. And here is the little connection block for the various bits of wires. Wires to the front light, wires presumably to the cab light. That's a bit bent. Wires to the cab light. Oh yeah, that comes off. And some additional connection wires there for some reason. I don't know what they're for. Here. Some LGB trains have got connections here for DCC control. Now, this particular one is too old for that and doesn't. It's got a dirty, great big lead weight in there. All aids traction. So I don't want to spoil what's already wired in so that I can reverse engineer whatever I do today in the future if I need to. However, I will be interested in changing these little lamps to be LED lamps so that I can turn them on and off and make them directional, which these at the moment aren't set up for that. And indeed, when you turn the LGB controller power down to stop the train, the lights go out, which is not quite what I want. So I will convert those, but I'm not going to do that today. That connector clearly goes down onto that. The two pin, these pins came up. That's all very clever actually. Those pins came up here. That's been soldered across. Don't need to worry about that because I removed that. Those go down to the motor. Let's just check continuity with the motor. Multimeter is on. That's good. Excellent. So all I need to do is feed this side and this side from the decoder chip or the receiver chip. Okay, well let's get going on that next. One thing I didn't mention earlier on is the inclusion of an overall on-off switch to separate the power from the battery packs to the little radio receiver. Just an on-off, small on-off switch, obviously suitable for carrying the couple of amps, but a small one like that would be fine. Just wanted to include it somewhere. First of all, I thought, well, I'll just mount it in the carriage, but I don't know, could do that, but if I'm going to put the batteries in here in due course, I'd like to try and find a nice subtle sort of secluded place for the little switch. I first of all honed in on the little space that's inside here, which I think actually will be my go-to point. So inside here there's a little space. This unclips very easily, and on the inside of the cab the switch would just be on the inside face there, so I can put my finger through the cab door and turn the power on and off. However, while I was handling this, it occurred to me that there's a void, there's a space in the roof. There's a space between the ceiling of the cab and the roof on the outside. This is flat and this is curved. So I thought, well, maybe I could put the switch on the inside here and put my finger underneath. That would be even more sort of secretive. I'm really not sure being able to push the switch on and off there. Maybe that does work. I'd have to push it sideways, and which way then would be on, which way would be off. And I'd need to get the wires out the back to link with the carriage, all these sort of various options. I think I'm going to drill a hole here, put the switch, I've lost it already, put the switch on the inside just through there so that I can put my finger through and push the switch on and push it off very easily. And then the wires hidden by this little coal bunker can come out the bottom and then link across to the carriage. I think that's going to be my plan. Yeah, I think that's where I will put the switch, just below that bit. Oh, I've lost a bit of coal. The coal lives up there as well. How about that? Just below there, so pretty well in line with the bottom of the window. So let's mark halfway. It's just as well my eye is pretty good for dimensions. That's halfway, and just about in line, just above halfway of the window. Let's have a look at that. The switch should fit in there nicely. Yeah, might just keep that up a small bit more, because actually the switch, this tapers down, and obviously it needs a bit of distance here, so I think I will just keep it more or less in line, or at least up from those little clips. What have I done here? Yeah, I will just push that up a little bit more. There we are. It's always worth double checking. That is perfect. Spot on. Let's see how that looks. That's probably about right. Although maybe I will do it without that. That will go on. That's the thickness plus the nut. So let's try that. So that is on. That is off as far as I remember. So that's on. Pushes the connections that way. That's on. And the cover should, with a bit of luck or careful planning, cover the switch up nicely. There we are. Just perfect. And you're not really going to see the little switch on the inside there. That's fine. Good, bit by bit. Now then, the plan was to include the receiver module at the back here, so I could put the aerial up underneath the top of the coal bunker. However, I've just realised, of course, I could put it in the top void here. That could very easily go inside there with the aerial just on the top for the radio waves to get to it very easily without any metal bits up there. That is a plan. Wires can be delicately brought through, down, tucked in there. Oh, getting there, getting there. Well, I've had a bit more of a play drilling holes, several more holes actually. So I've got a hole to go up to where the receiver module will be. I need a couple of wires coming through there, a couple of pairs actually. There's this pair and another pair. And also capacity for connecting up to the new LED lights, but I'm not going to do that this time. So that'll go in. I've also got a hole here and through where the firebox is to get power down to the motor. Another set of wires. Oh, how exciting. I'll also need to have wire coming out from the coal bunker out to the carriage. Now, I'm assuming in due course to have some sort of plug here so that I can disconnect, so I don't have to have the two permanently tethered. But for the moment, I don't have a plug and socket, so I've just drilled a hole and hopefully it'll go in there. But at the moment, it's just a wire coming out, but that'll be all right. Well, making good progress with this festoonage of wiring. I'm using the wiring guide provided by Micron. It's very basic. Battery. I don't have a resettable fuse. It's good that they've put that note here. I haven't got a resettable fuse, unfortunately. I don't have a charging socket either, but down the line I will add a resettable fuse and better batteries with a charging socket. That would be ideal. I hadn't even thought of that. Power in and then the power out to the motor. The rest for the LED lights and other sound system bits, I'm not going to be bothered about that. But very, very good guide notes from Micron. This is the power lead from the battery compartment. That'll come all the way in, a bit long at the moment, but that's okay. That'll come in. I'm going to nip that, put the switch in position there. This comes up and we'll go to the module. From the module then down and out, through, down all the way out and through via these wires, which will be a bit shorter, down to the motor. It really is that basic. Let's get the switch in next. Oh, yes, sweet. So that's coming in from the battery. Little on-off switch, power up, power back down to the motor. Nice. Let's switch across and have a look at connecting up to the motor block. So I need to power in here, power in there. Now for the time being, I'm going to leave lots of spare length. Down the line I can always shorten it. I do have a proper pair of wire strippers, but I haven't got them out of the garage, so don't have very many to do. So this will do me for the moment. Let's tin these nicely. Now these are already soldered, but there may be some waxing on top, so I'm going to re-tin them just to sort of reawaken the solder. That's the plus, that's the minus, negative. Now I'm hoping, because of the space inside here, I can shove these wires in to save them all being in the cab. But in due course, I'll shorten these wires. Right, now that that's connected to the motor block, I'm going to check that there's good continuity using my multimeter. Right, that's coupled up to the motor block. It's worth checking continuity. Excellent. All is good with that. So the next is connecting up using these little junction terminals, the various wires. These are really small little terminals. I hope these aren't too big, these wires. Let's have a look. So polarity, I'm going to stick with the red on the side that they've marked as red for the output. If by using the switch the forward is in fact reverse, all I need to do is swap these over. These wires are a little bit on the chubby side. Gently does it. These wires, for the time being, are not going to be used. They will be used for LED indicator lights, but I'm not going to be using those this time round. So just kind of, I don't know, keep them out of the way a little bit. So these are the feed wires to the motor. This is the power in, which is a bit on the long side here, so I think I shall trim those back. They're in. Now I don't really have a way of holding that down but I think a bit of blue tack in due course. Won't bother with that right now. Right, let's get a bit of power going on in here. Make sure you're turned off. So what I'm going to do is first of all use just a set to provide 6 volts. Well, like I said earlier, these are 1.2 volts, not 1.5, so it'll be a bit short of 6 volt. So the motor won't, be anywhere near full power. But I'll just start off with that so that I can check everything is okay. And I'm leaving a battery out for the time being while I'm fiddling. Pop that in just a moment. So, with the battery going in, that's 6 volts. Must keep those apart. Right, now then, the thing is, I haven't even put a battery in here yet. Dear oh dear. How exciting. My goodness. Let's leave you off for the moment. Binding, don't know how that works. I've read the instructions, but who knows. Let's leave you on minimum. Yes, well, don't know which one we're on. Let's go 1. Let's turn on. How do we do binding? Let's read the instructions, shall we? With transmitter off, switch the MR603 on. Transmitter off. Powered up. Oh yes, we've got a little light. Wait for the LED to start flashing. It is flashing. Switch your transmitter on in bind mode. Bind. Right. The LED flashing will slow for 2 to 5 seconds and then light continuously. Yes, it has. MR603 is now bound to your transmitter. Oh, how exciting. That start flashing, that start flashing. Let's go forward. Hopefully it won't actually do very much. Oh yes. Forwards. And reverse. Yes, it works. But 6 volts obviously is not very good. So max on 6 volts is really a very small proportion of the 20 that it's capable of. Right, so turn everything back off. Let's increase the 1 set of batteries to 2. We could just go for 3, which will be just short of 18 volts, wouldn't it? Yeah, let's do that. Well, I've gone straight into setting up 3 little battery packs, all wired in series, and for a bit of safety I have temporarily just taped up the joints. It'll do for the moment, a bit Heath Robinson. So 6, 12, 18 volts. Well, it won't be 18 volts because these are 1.2, so it'll be, oh, I don't know, maybe 16, 15, 16, and I don't even know how well charged these are because they are new Amazon Basics batteries straight out the box, so presumably not fully charged. This to that. Oh, 15.36 volts. That's okay. 15 volts. So rather better than the sort of, what did I have before? It wasn't even 6 volts. No, 5 volts. No wonder it didn't do very well. Yeah, so each pack is about 5 volts. Well, that's about right. Yeah, 10 and then 15. Yeah, 15.36 volts. So that's fine. So with 15 volts under its under its power control, let's have another go with this. Turn you on, turn you on. Yes, better lift you up. And here we go again. Oh, that's better. That's a lot better. Well, predictable, isn't it? Oh, yes. Good. And then forwards. Oh, way better. fine. I think what we need to do now is assemble it all and put it on the track. How about that? And the buffer beam with the magnet. Right, well, there is a little bit of spare cabling going on there, but for the time being I don't care. I can shorten it in due course when I swap batteries over, things like that. It's not overly elegant. Oh, it's not so bad, actually. Not so bad. So, engine is mostly together. There we go. A few other bits and pieces. And all the spare bits I've taken off I'll keep safe in a little packet so that I can keep them for reuse in due course. Right, this little beast will be the battery carrier. So I'm just going to dump them in there for the moment. Let's not be too bothered about what it looks like for the time being. As long as it basically stays safe. Well, these are very powerful, fare-paying passengers. One will go in there. One will go in there. That can go in there. And I think we're getting very soon for a proper track test. Oh, yes. Pop you on there. And we're good. Well, what a fine bodge that looks at the moment. Clearly I don't like the loose, obvious wires, but in due course, once I've proved the system basically works, I can fine-tune that, and I need to get a better battery sort of setup too. So let's not worry about that. Off we go to the track. Well then, not very much test track is available at the moment, but here we go with a couple of meters of test track. Right, oh, real test. Turn on, controller, turn on, forwards, what happens? It goes backwards. Reverse, goes forwards. Oh, so I have got that the wrong way round. Never mind. Reverse, well, that says forwards. Oh well, so it's not, the polarity's wrong, but never mind about that. Here we go. Oh, look at that. But of course the little lamp on the front does go out because I haven't coupled that up to the proper controller here. So this says reverse, which is forward. I will have to swap that round. Oh, I do like that. And that really is so sensitive. That's good stuff. That is an absolute win. Nailed that. I am so pleased. Can I bring it back on the delta junction the wrong way? Wrong way working? Yeah, super good. And such fine control. I am really pleased. Well, I think for this video that sums up my real sense of achievement having done a conversion from track power to radio controlled. Fantastic. Oh, great sense of satisfaction. Real achievement, actually. Oh, that wasn't that hard, was it? I hope you've enjoyed following along with the conversion. If you have any suggestions, comments, recommendations, please do pop them in the comments below. Until the next time, thanks for watching and bye for now.